joining me. Cole Chance here with Yoga Tribe in Bali, Indonesia, in my new home. So excited for the next 8 months, anyway. For the next 8 months, though, I get to stop moving for the most part. So that's super exciting. I never thought I'd be so excited for that, but I am. Anyway, today I wanted to share just a short meditation and some self-inquiry practice. So I did this workshop, I've done this workshop a few times called Chaos to Clarity. Did it here in Bali, and I recently just taught it in Scotland as well, and to a beautiful, beautiful group. And this question that presented at the beginning of the class, I keep coming back to it, so I wanted to share it with you as well. 2 questions, actually. So the first question is I want you to ask yourself or your friend or your journal, write it in your journal. What is it that you want people to see about you? Like if you were going to meet a new group of people or starting a new job or even just to your friends and loved ones, like how do you hope that they describe you? How do you hope that they see you? So think about that. And so I can answer for myself. I'll just get all vulnerable here on camera. For myself, I want to be seen as fun, of course, as confident. I hope that I'm seen as kind. That people see like the goodness, my goodness, and my big heart, and a lust for life. So those are a few things. I could keep going. But, so it's what you hope that you come across as, yeah? So chew on that. I'm going to go ahead and ask the second question. You can come back to both of these. What is it that you hope that people do not see about you? So that's the gritty one. What do you hope that people who you just met or people that you love and actually know you, what do you hope they still don't see about you? They of course see so much more about us, but we all still have our masks. So what do you not want people to see about you? What are those parts of yourself that you're not willing to show? So I hope that people don't see my insecurity, that I doubt myself very often, that I get angry and I can be vindictive, and I hope that people don't see that I just don't know what I'm doing half the time. I kind of hope that I have it kind of together, that I put that off. But I hope that people don't really see how not together I am. So, these are some really good journal questions, so I hope you take some time with them. But so take these 2 opposite things. They're both us. These things that I want to show and these things that I don't want to show. They're all me. And what's so interesting about this is if we take the things that we don't want to show people, the things that we think are shameful, that we're guilty for maybe having, that we purposely try to hide with masks and inauthenticity, that these are the things that they make us feel not part of. They make us feel separate from. Tara Brach, wonderful Buddhist philosopher. She talks about it like as if you have a bubble around you. And when you're feeling isolated, this trance of unworthiness or this trance of separation, that bubble gets really thick. You know the feeling? So, but what's so interesting about these things that we don't want people to see about us is that these are the things that connect us. So, for example, in the workshop, I had everybody write these things down. And then at the end of the workshop, we kind of passed them around and everybody read somebody else's out loud. And they were all relatable. Almost everything that was read was relatable. Like everyone was like, me too, me too, me too, me too. So it's quite ironic that the things that we want to keep hidden are the exact same things that would connect us if we were to show up with authenticity. And we're all seeking connection. That's why we do most of the things that we do. So to get out of that pattern of thinking that it's something that's not worthy, because everything in our experience is worthy. The parts that we want to show, the parts that we don't so much, but even more so the parts that we don't so much are the parts that we can connect on. How's that for something to think about? Go ahead and close your eyes down. Just begin to connect with your breath. Inhaling through the crown of the head and through the heart space, and exhaling, rooting down onto the pillow or the ground. So I want you to think about and bring these visceral feelings of the things that you don't want people to see. I want you to bring up those feelings. Maybe you pick one. Maybe you pick one or two. Maybe it's a feeling of shame or a feeling of unworthiness. And really breathe that in and let that feeling, feel that. Don't just say the word, but feel it. And it probably doesn't feel very comfortable. But now I want you to think about everybody else in the world. How many people there are on this planet that are probably feeling the exact same thing. We have such a tendency to think that, these feelings are unique to us, and they're not. These are human feelings. So rather than letting us feel isolated, can we breathe into a feeling of connection for being part of humanity? Like, I am feeling this feeling because I am human. These feelings are okay. Doesn't mean that they're true, but they are okay. And notice if that releases any of the intensity around the sensations in your body related to these words and these emotions. Can you just slow down the breath? So I encourage you, this is something that I'm really working on, to be able to reset these patterns of having these feelings and then feeling worse about the feelings. When these come up, as they do often they come up. If we can begin to kind of default into having this feeling of unworthiness and then saying, oh, there's my human. There's me and millions of other people on the planet. Why do we do this? Let's breathe in some love or breathe in a gratitude. And then send that out, not only for yourself, send it out for everyone else. So rather than letting this feeling automatically isolate and let that bubble thicken, that trance of unworthiness get thicker and more powerful, if we can let it begin to disintegrate, just allowing these feelings to be part of not only our experience, but the human experience. And noticing how it shifts. Just a couple more rounds of breath in and out slowly. On your next inhale, begin to lift the eyelids. So I really invite you to spend some time. This is kind of a pretty intense idea. So spend some time either talking with a friend or a loved one, or journal. And take some time to really write out your thoughts and answers to these questions. Especially when we're journaling, there's something about putting pen on paper. It can slow down our thoughts. You can only write so fast. So it really allows things to come out in a different way. I'm really finding like new power of journaling. But, this yoga practice is not only about the postures, the moving postures. It's really this whole science of self. We're learning self-inquiry, being able to be with what is. Not so much about changing, but be with ourselves as we are. So I hope that you got something out of this. And thank you so much for letting me be part of your practice and allowing me to share with you. I'll see you next time. Peace.